Hello guys, welcome into our new lecture. So in today's lecture we are going to study about general exceptions which we encounter in our day-to-day programming. So in our previous lecture we had studied about custom exceptions as well as general like other exceptions, try, catch, else and finally block. So in today's we are going to practically see that most of the exception which we encounter in our day-to-day program. So let me just take here, like I'm going to try here. I'm going to try like uh, a is equal to 10 divided by 0. Now we are dividing this 10 by 0, so we are going to get 0 division error. So we are going to catch that using 0 division error as e, and then we are going to print this e. So let me just execute it. So now we are going to see that we are going to get 0 division error. So let my kernel just get completed here. So now we can see that division by 0 error. So basically it is not breaking our program. Like if we want to print something here, like this mm, is after the exception. So we can see that our program did not crashed, it just printed the exception and then it moved next over next statement, which was print. So let me just show you another example. Let me just take a try here, what I'm going to try. And here let me just take an import, like I'm going to import, and so I'm going to take import my name because there is no such type of module here. So what we are going to expect here, so we are going to accept module not found error as e, and then we are going to print this e here. And so now let us, so we can say that no module named Zenny. And now if we want to do here something like 34 plus 5 plus 3, and we can see that we are getting our expected result as well as the exception printed as well as. So let us see that if we don't know what type of exception we are getting, so how can we get to know that what type of exception will occur here. So I'm going to take an integer here, I'm going to take my name here, so I'm going to pass my name, and then I'm going to pass it in accept block and accept. Here we are going to call the general exception class exception as e, and then I'm going to print e. So now let us just so we can see that we are getting this exception as invalid literal for integer with base 10. And here if I print something, so it will print it, so it will print. Now we can see that we are getting our print statement executed as well. So basically here we see we had sent some general exceptions, and let me just show you further exceptions as well. So here let me just show you another type of error as well, which is exception. So I'm going to take a dictionary here, so I'm going to take dict, and then I'm going to take here keys and values. So this is my key name, and then value. So I'm going to take pass my name here, and then take age, and then value as 23. And now if I am going to print, so here what I am going to print, I am going to take a dictionary name. So I'm going to and then in this dictionary I want to get an key which is not present. So I'm going to take this as a gender. And now if we now we know that this key is not available in a dictionary. So how can we catch this exception? We have to use key error. So key error as e, and then I'm going to print the e, our exception. So now we are going to we should have actually cutted this error. Why we are not getting this exception? I let me just see that this gender dictionary. render here and so why it is giving me this error, why it is not giving me this error? So basically we are getting printed our key instead of getting a red error here. And same I am going to show you another exception. So I am going to take a try block here, and then inside this try I am going to take attribute, like I am going to take my name, and then I am going to take a function learn which is not present here. So what I am going to catch this except, and what type of error it is? It is attribute error. So attribute error as e, and then I'm going to print this e here, and now if we execute it, so we are getting that string object has no attribute learn. So basically our program is not getting crashed, like it is giving us not red errors earlier which we were getting in different programs. So here we are gracefully handling all type of exceptions which could occur at our program runtime. So let me just show you another type of exceptions as well. Like I'm going to take a list here. So list is equal to, and in this list I'm going to take some number 1 2 3 4, and now what we want to do, we want to print list item which is not in the index. So I'm going to take ls here, and inside our list we want to get index which is not present here. So I'm going to take 7th index, because this index is not present, our list contains 0 1 2 3. So basically we are getting data from 7th index which is not present. So how can we catch this? We have to use except, and then what we have to do, we have to use index error as e, and then we are going to print e, and if you execute it we are getting this list index out of range error as well. So I'm going to take another exception like try, and what if I want to add some integer like 45 plus my name. So we can see that we are adding an integer into string. So basically here we are also going to accept an error. So what type of error we are going to get here? So here we are going to get the type error, because our type does not match. Like here we are adding integer with the string, so our type error would occur as e, and then I'm going to print e here, and if we execute, so we are going to get that unsupported operand type, because this is a type error for integer plus string. So here we had seen multiple type of exception handling processes which we use in different kind of exceptions. So here see another type of exception. So I'm going to take a try block here, and here we are going to open our file. So with open, and then I'm going to pass the file name which is not present here. So I'm going to take this as test.txt in our read mode, because in read mode we can only open a file if it is present. In write we can create automatically, it would created if we open the file in read mode and write mode, sorry. So here what we are going to f dot read. So here we want to read our file, and here we are going to take an exception. So exception here, because file is not present, so we will get file not found error as e, and then I am going to print this e. So we are getting that no such file or directory. So here we are not getting any red error, we are getting a beautiful message which is more user understandable and readable. So let us just take this example as well again, and here we are calling file not found error. So here let us take another exception here. So let me just take except, and this time we are going to call our superclass exception. So exception as e, and then let us print this e. So now when we will run this, so our exception would automatically get handled by the first exception which we are handling here. Like first exception which we are using to accept to handle this exception, that would automatically handle from the start. Like whenever any exceptions occur, it would begin from the start. Like first time where the exception was handled, it would start from there. If our exception is handled here successfully, then it will not move further. And if our exception is not handled here, then it will move further like here. So if we want to test that, so I am going to print here some statement like this is file not found exception and comma e. So now if we run it, we are now getting the same message which we were getting earlier. We are not getting printed this statement. But if we remove this, so now if we run it, so we are going to get that file not found exception. Now it moved to the next exception because our earlier exception is not present, or it was not successfully able to if handle the error, then it would call the next exception which is handling the exception. So I'm going to take except here and exception as e, and then I'm going to print the e here. So that we had just see that how can you handle different kind of exceptions in our general day-to-day programming. So here is just a basic list of exceptions, and there are a lot of other exceptions available in our Python which we use, and we can also create custom exceptions. If you want to know that how to create custom exception, we had previously a lecture on our YouTube channel where we had seen that how can we create custom exception. So that's it for today, and see you in next lecture. Bye.